everyone, and welcome to Sorta My Podcast. My name is Vincent Herman, Vin The Human. Sitting to my left,
Brothers Herman, Dr. T. Neil.
We're going to be tackling this one by ourselves, guys, but before we do that, go ahead and head over to Facebook and Twitter and like the new Subject to Change Entertainment accounts there. We have rebranded, and that is what we're doing, so if you want all our future stuff, go there. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this episode, because that is the best way to get us out in front of people. And you got to be listening to this somewhere. While there, why not follow us? Because that's another way you can get heavy information. But, of course, if you're on YouTube, hit that bell down below. Okay, so this was the one.
The one.
This was the one we've been waiting for 10 fucking years.
Mm-hmm.
See, I mean, like, when we did, when I did the sort of my review for the first Avengers movie, like forever ago, terrible review, but I did my homework, actually, for that one, so the intro is actually a little informative, but, terrible review. But when I did that, I tried to make, like, this big spectacle out of it. I was like, this is the movie. I was like, this is the movie. It was the movie. 4 years in the making.
And now this is the movie.
Here we are 6 years later, and this is it, man. It all started with a fucking robot that burst into flames called the Human Torch. We're all amped up on this.
Juiced.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and jump in. We're doing the Herman brothers on the Russo brothers.
Mm-hmm. Herman on Russo.
So, let's do spoiler-free first. Do our best to do spoiler-free, and then we're going to go into spoilers. Now, of course, time codes are down below, so if at any time you want to get right to the spoilers, that's fine. But if you're wanting to avoid those, the time code's right below. You know at what point we're going to be hitting that. Plus, we're going to say spoilers anyway, so, whatever. I'm giving over explanation. Let's do this!
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So, first, I want to say, if you have not watched the other Marvel films, maybe not all of them, like the essential ones, like maybe like Captain America: Civil War, Black Panther is a little important for this, I'd say. Spider-Man.
Right. To me, I feel like you have to watch them all. But
yeah, I mean, if you want the full effect.
If you just want to be somebody like, yeah, I found, I got caught up on it. I know what it's about and all that. You can watch like this and that and then main events. But
I'm just saying they're essential.
If you care at all, you're gonna watch them all.
But I'm saying they're essential films. Like there are films like you absolutely have.
You have to see the Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton if you want to watch Infinity War. Straight link.
To hear him say, you won't like me when I'm angry in Mandarin. I think it was Mandarin.
That's where this movie picks up.
This picks up right after. Yeah, no, but this is not the movie for the casual moviegoer. You're not going to go into this like knowing everything that's going on. Yeah. It really is built off the back of some of the other films. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is actually a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Thor
3, I'm sure.
Thor Ragnarok is a good one to see before this. But yeah, so it is not a standalone film, so you can't judge it on those standards. But judging it as a direct sequel to so many other movies, like a
10th sequel.
Yeah, a culmination film. It is stellar.
Usually, things that have like sequels and stuff, I don't think they make it past May 5. Well, like they don't peak, is what I'm saying. Like,
nope,
because
that's
Indiana Jones peaked at 1, I'd say, and then 2 and 3 were still good, and then like it just dies.
Oh, I know what song I was trying to do.
James Bond.
Yep.
I like Secret Agent Man. Let's talk about Infinity War.
Yeah. Guys, we're switching the script here. We're going on 007. Now,
but these movies have made it, they've all, I'd say, in my book, they're all a hit. One after another, basically. And then you make it all the way to 10, and it's still good.
Have you seen Thor: The Dark World?
Yeah, I mean, we got a second Thor movie. I was happy about that in general. At the time, everybody's so like, oh, this is shitty. Like, what we got.
I wouldn't call it shitty. I'd just call it non-consequential. It's there. It happened. I can barely remember half the events. Like, I remember a lot of the stuff in the final fight and Thor on Asgard, but like all the in-between stuff, like anything that Natalie Portman her sidekick in the film. I can never remember that actress's name.
Kat Dennings.
Yes, Kat Dennings. And I love that actress. But anything they did, yeah. I remember there's a part with Thor and Natalie in the rain.
I like some stuff in it.
Jane
I really.
Foster. But
There's some good stuff.
yeah, it's not a god awful. Oh my god, avoid this film.
Exactly.
But it's
every movie has been pretty good. Been decent. In general, none of them are so bad that the whole thing has crashed and stopped.
The lowest of the scale is, that's all right. Yeah. So
I mean, it's hard to believe they went this long, this many years, this much money
off of a fluke that was Iron Man. They were just taking a shot in the dark with a character who was not that popular at the time in the comics or anything, and portraying that character in a totally different light from the comics.
Interesting choice to start off with.
Yeah,
I think people would went with.
Well, that was before they knew they were gonna do this whole thing, which is why you have early recastings and stuff like that. It's shit that wouldn't fly now.
Don Cheadle's been there the whole time, dude. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, sure. The fact that this got to its place, I see what you mean. It is stellar, and for it to culminate here, the way that it did, it expertly brought everything together to a head, to an epic semi-finale, because, and I feel like another thing we can say about this in non-spoilers, because I feel like it was already well-known knowledge, this movie is part one of a two-parter, kinda, in a way. They just took the part 1 and 2 off of the titles. So we don't know what the other one's called, but yeah, the next Avengers movie is probably going to pick up right after this one.
There might be a different movie that picks up after that, because we know Ant-Man and Wasp is going back before.
Yeah, I think Ant-Man and Wasp is before this.
There might be like another movie before Avengers that's like current.
I don't know.
See
the only two I can think of right now, Captain Marvel, which takes place in the 90s, and Ant-Man and Wasp, which I'm pretty sure has already been said, it takes place right after Captain America Civil War.
Yeah.
And I feel maybe there's a third one, but the next Avengers is coming next year.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I don't know.
Usually
if there's
the gaps aren't that small.
Yeah, I don't think there's gonna be anything really like substantial in between this and then. Now, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the characters and their representations in this, because I feel like I got the feeling like there were so many directors on set. Like they perfectly captured the feel of the Guardians of the Galaxy films. They perfectly
I feel like the Guardians' whole bit in this movie is better than number 2.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like they had a better. If they would have had more time, even though every character has more time than you expect, it's great.
And there are a lot of characters to get to.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I liked their performance a little better.
And then when you get to the Asgardian, well, not Asgardian type stuff, because Asgard's gone.
Like this isn't a spoiler. At the beginning of the movie, where it takes place with more people that are from like Asgard, and people in that like kind of position.
Yeah, you get that epic feel of some of the Thor movies. You get that heroic feel that you get from the Captain America movies. Yeah, it feels like,
or, like they're kind of political in a way,
it perfectly encapsulates the feeling of every movie that came before it, and that is a hell of a trick to do in its own, in a way that goes smoothly.
Yeah, it definitely does. I kind of thought about this, like, I know there was a movie before that gave me the same feeling, but I'll be sitting there watching, I'm like, so is there, like, one guy who, like, writes Peter Quill stuff? Is there one guy who writes Iron Man stuff? Yeah. And they would, like, bring him from their respective movies to give them their, original screen feel.
Now, I feel like I read something that said that, this was the Russo brothers' vehicle, of course. They were the ones heading this thing up. But I feel like they were in talks with, like, Taika Waititi, who did the Black Panther film, and
things that help
Jon Favreau. I feel like they were all working off of each other a little bit.
Here's 10 tips and tricks to making your next Guardians of the Galaxy film.
Your next Avengers film, brother. That's a terrible Hulk Hogan impression. You get one per review, kids. But It really did blend smoothly. The characters were perfectly represented. I feel like everyone was on their A game.
Definitely.
And everyone worked off of each other so well.
That's one of the things that I think they try to display. They're like, okay, we're going to show you how these guys work off each other. Because, I mean, they purposely pull on each other's, like...
personalities.
Yeah.
They're traits that some characters have.
You know these two are going to clash, so obviously they're going to start talking to each other.
Yeah. Some characters have a lot of hubris. And then you have ones that...
some of them love each other.
Yeah, you know? Some of them love each other. So all of the character interactions were perfect. And exactly like what you'd expect without being able to go like, oh, this is about to happen. Yeah.
Right, yeah. Something else, like, it works with people working off each other. The fighting.
Yes. Yeah.
When
tag teaming is done so well.
When talk about abilities, power usage.
Yeah.
And manipulation
combos.
Of like,
yeah.
They would, how do you say this? Spoiler free. It seems like they every time they saw an opportunity to use something like, yes, this is what they would do, they did it, and they did it well, but they also threw in tons of new stuff that you're like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe they just did that. And Spider-Man working with Iron Man doing a combo that would only work with those two.
A good example is something that was in the trailers, which is Peter Quill jumping from
platform to platform
that Doctor Strange is putting out there for him. Yeah, so and there's a lot of that in this film. A lot of people working off of each other, and it doesn't seem like it's necessarily like, oh, we just dropped that in there. Who knows why they know how to do that? No, it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, like with Doctor Strange and Peter Quill, he's already running along these
he
areas.
Wasn't planning on having Doctor Strange help him.
He just saw the platforms, and Doctor Strange is a quick-witted person, so of course he's going to go like, fuck, I'm going to get him there quicker.
Yeah.
So that all plays perfectly.
They catch on to each other, like, yeah, okay, let's do this.
Let's talk about Thanos real quick. Spoiler free.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Stone Cold Steve Thanos. Wow, was Thanos fleshed out? And we'll talk about a little more detail on that later.
As soon as you see Thanos, it hits you like a ton of bricks. Like, this is an immaculate figure. He is a godlike dude. And you're only seeing the back of him. And I'm like, gosh.
Okay, well, let's
it's better than what people have seen his back in all the other movies.
I don't think anyone's ever seen his back.
Yeah, it's usually his face, the most important part.
But yeah, no, he comes off intimidating.
Yeah.
But he also comes off, I don't want to say sympathetic, because
they give him his moments where you can tell he honestly has feelings.
Well, they give him depth. That's what I want to say. Not sympathetic, but they give him depth. They give him depth of character and emotion, and you can understand his motivations while you cannot abide by the way he carries out his actions. The reasoning is there, but he crosses these lines to do them. So I feel like that's what we need in the Marvel movies, and they've been seeing that themselves with Eric Killmonger being a really well fleshed out character, and I feel like it all started with Baron Zemo. Not that Loki didn't have his levels, but
he always came back to be a fucking
he fluctuated too much between like, oh, I have some
but
depth.
That's perfect.
Oh, I'm just
that's perfect for Loki because that keeps him in the roster.
That gives him his emotional shields that he puts up.
Well, no, he's supposed to have the illusion that you can't trust this guy. He may be good, he may be bad.
So I think maybe you could argue that it started with Loki, but I feel like the real progress came from Baron Zemo.
Yeah.
Or, like, it turns out he was doing it for his family the whole time, who got killed because of the events of Age of Ultron.
Yeah, most of the characters in the movie, I feel like I can speak for them, honestly, could not see where he's really, coming from. Like, you cannot be like this. You cannot be this guy. You don't make any friggin' sense, and we're going to pound it into your head till you get it, even though they can't. Anyways, so that's how the characters see him, but, the viewers, you're gonna realize this guy's a sentimental beast.
Yeah. I do want to talk about the special effects a little bit. really, really fucking good, especially on Thanos, which you couldn't have called from the trailers, because I feel like the trailers like painted it on like, I think maybe they downgraded the trailers on purpose.
I feel like it held up just about the same because I'm seeing it on a whole new screen. Really?
Really?
Yeah, I mean, when you watch it on a small screen, what do you expect?
Well, okay. All right.
Even when I seen the trailer for Incredibles for this movie, I was like, "Wow, this trailer is awesome!" And this is the third time I've seen it, and it was the best time I've seen it.
I think it's already known that and we've also seen Thanos fighting Iron Man in the trailers, and he looks perfect. Like the CG on Thanos just looks almost flawless.
No, there's a better part.
Okay.
I just thought of, because they get so close to his face, you can see the tiny bristle sticking out of like you wouldn't even thought the whole time during the movie that he had any sort of facial hair.
And we'll talk about this more. But they finally in spoilers. But this is the part with all the clouds, and there's a bunch of clouds, and there's a big reveal.
No, someone's holding him, I thought. Anyways.
Okay. Yeah. We'll talk more about it in spoilers.
It might have been that, but
I feel like they went the next level with this.
It astounded me seeing
Iron Man's suit looked really good.
This was no Superman mustache, by the way. Yeah, I cannot.
There were no Superman mustaches. Now, okay, I feel like I've been bringing this up a lot lately. Get over it with the CG, guys. It's never going to be perfect because, and I don't know the science behind this, so I'm not going to pretend to. But I know that there is something about the human eye that we can decipher between
bad and good.
That uncanny valley.
It's like music.
Yeah.
You can tell when something's on pitch and off pitch, but someone who's not musically inclined can't really tell you why they know it's wrong, but they can feel it's wrong.
That doesn't sound right. Yeah. So it's like that with the human eye. The human eye can decipher what is real and fake in that smoke screen that they put up called CG. And so I don't think we're ever going to get that perfect.
Well, honestly, the ability to trick me and then, like, because the whole time I'm trying to, like, see where practical and CG are meeting. Yeah. And it all just blended way too well. I could not tell what was real and what wasn't.
Yeah.
Everything was essentially real.
And a lot of times that's because they did use practical effects and layered on some CG. So there's a little bit of a counter-argument to my statement there. But when we're talking about, like, Thanos, who is obviously not Josh Brolin in a suit. That's all...
Yeah.
That's pure motion capture and then a huge layered-on CG guy. I feel like that is a standard right there for CG.
Got 10 more movies just to get better.
Right. Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, I mean, I can go on and on spoiler free, bro. Everything you could probably be worried about technical wise is perfect. I think.
Honestly, anything, in my personal opinion, anything anyone was afraid of in this movie, they can just put that to bed. But, you know there are going to be people out there and like, oh, yeah, well, what about, like, if Captain America stuck his finger up his butt, how does he smell shit, like, 4 hours later? Right. Like, I don't know. It's some stupid it's a terrible example of a bad continuity thing. Well, how does Leia use the Force? Because she's a fucking Skywalker and they changed how the Force works. Shut the fuck up about it.
Don't worry about it.
Eat the fattest sack it takes. So, I think we're gonna go ahead and go into spoilers. Spoilers! I don't know. I'm not a musically inclined guy. Why do you ever let me take over a song?
Here's a guitar, Vinny. Have fun.
It's time for the spoilers. Fucking movie spoilers. Yeah.
Get
all right,
spoiled.
So I think we've given you guys enough room here to bounce out. So anything you hear from this point is your fault. You chose to listen to it.
We did the spoiler.
Or maybe you're doing the dishes and you just did not get to your phone or whatever fast.
Last call. Get spoiled.
Illustrious 10, all our Sortamites out there, get out now if you haven't seen the movie. Which, why the fuck have you not seen this movie? It's been out for like 3 days by the time this goes up, I want to say.
In case you don't want to go watch the movie, but you do want to hear about it, stay where you are.
Well, welcome. If you hate the Avengers, why the fuck are you here? Again, why are you here?
Tell us in the comments.
Yeah. All right, time. Going into spoilers, what do you want to start with? God, there's so much good to get into here.
I want to talk about the good rather than the bad. Like,
well,
rather than the sad, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay, do you want to talk about cameos first?
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
let's do cameos.
Okay, well, how about, here's a good place to start.
Camos?
Everything in the trailer, most of the trailer stuff was obviously just about everybody's first appearance. The whole, like, maybe, like, first 20 minutes or so stretched out. I'd a lot of other stuff.
Maybe 20% of the trailers takes place later in the film.
It ruined nothing.
Yeah, the trailers give away almost nothing. In fact, if anything, the movie fixes some of the shit in the trailers that I was concerned about, because there's one big thing from the trailers was Peter Parker's all like, well, fuck my secret identity. Nope, that's not the case, because
he has his friend cover for him.
Yeah, not Gonke.
Hey, make a distraction. Holy shit, we're all gonna die, or something like that.
He takes them all to the back of the bus so that
Peter crawls out a different window.
Crawls out the window and he goes under the bridge like we see in the trailer. So that was really good. Yeah, and that since we're in cameos and stuff, that very scene is where we get our Stan Lee cameo right in the beginning, which I think is perfect. Some people might say, "Oh, it's too early." No, that's the perfect place because
get it off you,
get it off, jerk it real hard. No, I'm not editing any of that out. The world can hear my blunder. But yeah, no, they get that out of the way quick because there's no room for that in the rest of the movie. Let's see here. I know one of the big ones we want to get to. I just want to see if there are any more small ones that happened. Anything like I mean, we talked about not Gonke, so his friend.
Yeah, he had a 2-second thing, but he was in the film.
Yeah, but he was in there. He's in there.
Probably a big deal for a kid like
Pepper
that.
Potts is in the film again at the very beginning, maybe 2 minutes
This
tops.
is her second return since her and Tony Stark split up.
Yeah, she was in Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Just little slivers, but she's coming back.
Yeah.
She was wearing Peter's shirt in that movie.
Was Happy Hogan in the movie? I feel like Happy Hogan was somewhere in there.
I don't recall seeing Happy at all.
Yeah, I'm not gonna die on that hill. He may or may not have been. I'm not sure. Okay, let's get to the big one.
Robert Downey Jr. leans on one of the relics. That kills me.
I feel like to get to the big one, we have to talk about the stones. We have to talk about the stones. And one of the things we thought was maybe he didn't get all the stones in this film. Like maybe he was going to walk away with 3 or 4. But that is not the case, because motherfucker does get every stone. He gets the power.
A good little while before the movie's over, so.
Yeah, so it's not like anything early, but that leads us to talking about the soul stone.
I think he gathered the stones and stuff at a good pace.
Oh yeah,
it was
paced
out
it
well
out
with the movie.
But that leads us to talking about the soul stone, which everyone was concerned about. Everyone was like, "Oh, it's in Wakanda." Oh, it's some people were thinking it was Heimdall who had it. Because his eyes glow orange when he uses his sword and stuff. So people were thinking maybe it's in the sword or maybe it's in his suit or whatever.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Yeah. So everyone was wrong. Very fucking wrong. And it turns out Gamora's known where it's been the whole fucking time.
Oh, that one!
Yeah.
Oh, this cameo blew my mind. Yes. This is one of the most mind-blowing things in the whole movie somehow.
So, long story short, because we're not here to recant the entire movie to you. Long story short, Gamora ends up taking Thanos to where the soul gem is, and it turns out it's being watched.
Yeah, they get there to this big mystical, kind of run down mountains.
Third ghost in Christmas Carol.
Yeah, they get to this nasty rocky area, and this specter approaches them.
Yeah. And he's talking "Oh, you sure you want the film? Blah blah blah." Or not the film.
You sure you want to be in this film?
You sure you want to do this one, Josh?
Calls him my name.
He's like, it comes at a price and all that, blah blah blah. And so he steps out of the shadows, and it's none other than the red motherfucking skull. Actually, we need to look this up real quick. Is it? Let's get on the IMDb.
Hugo Weaving.
That's right. Hugo Weaving. Let's click on his thing.
He plays Red Bull, the character. I'm just kidding. I drink Red Bull and I get my powers.
It does not say Avengers Infinity War, but that might be on purpose. So, yeah. So I don't know if it's the actual actor or not.
That's what I was actually wondering.
I don't know if it's Hugo Weaving or not.
That's what I was wondering because the makeup couldn't tell you otherwise. The voice still seemed pretty good, but it was an easy one to imitate, I think.
And everyone's always said,
but it blew my mind.
No body, no death. And
he got away, right?
Well, he gets transported somewhere. When he touches the Tesseract, it starts like fucking with him, and he gets transported somewhere.
It's been a minute, but I watched that one not too long ago. Man.
And so it turns out what is that one? Don't know.
Power? I don't know.
We should be better at this. I read comics. I've actually read the Infinity Gauntlet.
I don't think colors and names.
Anyways, we're all jazzed up from the movie. Anyhow, but anyways, turns out the Tesseract sent him to this place to punish him to watch over the Soul Stone.
I didn't realize that. Yeah, to punish him. I was like, why is he there? How is he sustaining his lifestyle in general? How is he alive? And who knows? But yeah, he's there to guide people to the stone that he can never have.
Yeah.
Because he's there alone, and to get the stone, you have to sacrifice a soul.
And we'll come back to that, because we're going to do deaths later.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyways, we get the Red Skull. That was nuts.
And he's being tortured.
You fucking saw
You're happy to see he's doing so badly, but happy to see him. You're happy to see him.
Holy fuck, I never thought I'd see the Red Skull again.
Yeah.
Any other big cameos? Any other...
Not off the top of my head, it's so hard to think of them all.
I mean, there are plenty of people from Wakanda that are in this Shuri and all the guard and everything. And I can't remember... Fuck, I'm bad at names, man.
Yeah, it's hard to remember some of them. Oh, like Benicio del Toro as the Collector was there.
Yeah, Collector's in there. But he turns out just to be...
he's just
a figment of the reality stone.
He's a fake...
Yeah.
But it was him, the actor.
Yeah, so we get quite a few little cameos, but
really and those juice up the story so well. Like you gotta have them there to.
Yeah, they're not shoehorned in. It's like this is okay. If anything, I get like we didn't have to have the Red Skull, but it made perfect sense. It tied that little thing up.
Check that off.
Yeah. It didn't feel like anything was really shoehorned in, and we mostly stayed with our main gigantic cast throughout this film. And that's another thing. The film, this would have been really good for non-spoilers, whatever, but the film paced itself in a way where you spend time with these characters in their individual settings, whether they're on Titan or on Earth or they're on Nowhere, and... It just feels like, okay, this is where we're supposed to be now, and it didn't seem jarring.
There was quite a bit of location change where we always had to have the title come up.
You did say early in the movie, like,
this is going fast.
This is moving fast, but that harkens back to what we were saying about, like, this is not a movie for someone who needs to get built in. This is for someone who's been watching some of these films.
You're not going to get half a movie if you don't.
Yeah, right? Let's talk about the Iron Spider suit.
Okay.
Let's talk about that. And for some people, this may have already been ruined. I know that I saw it already in the... because they were showing off the statues and stuff. But the Iron Spider suit has the fucking arms from the comic books.
I want to call them legs.
Legs, arms, whatever. But
you ever seen a spider with arms?
It's flexing up.
I'm gonna make those pictures now.
Fine, the legs, but the appendages from the actual.
There's birds with arms. Birds with arms on Google. If you ever get
there are birds with arms on the Fight Milk logo.
All right, yeah.
It has the spider appendages from the comic book Iron Spider suit. Oh yeah, they're great. And when they first pop out, it is perfect because it's in this moment where they're trying to eject Thanos. It wasn't Thanos, it was one of the Black Order. But they've ejected him out into space. But so Stephen Strange is about to go out and they're trying to stop him. And Spider-Man's like grabbing onto this thing and he's shooting his webs, but the thing breaks off. And so right at the last second, as soon as Spider-Man's about to go out into the vacuum of space, boom, the arms pop. And they latch on, and he's able to pull himself in and stuff.
And the suit looked great. Yeah, he got it just in the nick of time, and he uses it for the rest of the movie.
And they explain they don't explain, but he's like, and I don't even know what I'm doing half the time. A lot of this stuff is happening on autopilot, so that's your fault, Mr. Stark. So, like, if you're wondering, like, well, why does he know how to use the suit right away? Now, it's apparent that Tony Stark provided some AI in it or something.
Apparently, like, I've been starting to pay more attention to this since, who was it who did Avatar?
James Cameron.
James Cameron. Okay, James Cameron
Who's
pointed
been
out.
running his mouth lately.
Yeah, he was talking about how sci-fi movies these days, they don't care about the mechanics. They don't care how things work and stuff like that. I feel like I started paying attention to it, and I feel like they give you what you need to know.
Yeah.
You know enough to know how, like, why it does what it does,
Plus,
but you don't need to know the science.
We're talking about superheroes here.
And they packed so much stuff into this one that I think they explained things working the best that they could, and it was very well at it.
And again, that harkens back. You've got to have watched the other films, because you get that sense that, like, Tony Stark put some AI in the suit to kind of do some autopilot in it a little bit from what you saw in Spider-Man Homecoming, where there's AI in that suit that he provided for Peter and stuff. So, yeah, like, there are little bits and pieces here. And then again, some stuff just does not need that detailed to-the-letter description. Doctor Strange is a great example for that, because Doctor Strange, like, they explain as much as they can, but they're also like, just go with it.
Tony's suit had so many evolutions this time.
Yes.
The nanotechnology was top notch.
The bleeding edge type suit that they've got in this movie with the nanotech. Yeah, and we saw part of that in one of the trailers where
it starts coming over his face.
That and where his boots turn into the big rocket booster.
Yeah, he used that on Thanos' chest at one point. It was great.
Yes, yeah. And then it's, oh my god,
he also can stomp his feet into a giant lock, like almost like a Hulkbuster foot.
I almost feel like his suit is maybe adaptive to his thoughts. Like, if he thinks it, the nanites will form it.
I didn't think about that, because, like, why is it? It could do that.
Why did he already think of all these possibilities? And I mean,
giant,
maybe.
Yeah. He has a laser cannon come straight out of his fist at one point.
Yeah.
And then that fist also, like, turns into, like,
and
20
that laser
things.
cannon looked kind of like Star-Lord's guns, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, maybe he saw Star-Lord's guns and he's like, I'll do one better.
Do that. Yeah, I'll do you one better.
So, yeah, I think
version of your gun.
I think maybe this is tied into, like, his thoughts. Like,
I'm glad we just thought of that now.
Yeah, we picked that one apart. That's pretty good. Yeah, high five us.
Woo.
Yeah.
But also, I don't think there's any more technology I could think of.
Well, one thing that was really cool was these projector things that came out of his back.
Yeah, they come
and then went to his side.
It looks like a surround sound out of his back.
Yeah, kind of like a repulsor blast surround sound system that came out of his back.
But it's not attached. It's like floating panels.
Yeah, well, they're floating when they're not attached, but they did come out of the suit.
Yes.
Yeah. And it also seems like maybe there's only so far it can go, because when he's fighting Thanos one-on-one, when it gets down to just those two, at first it's reforming, because Thanos gets his whole hand around Iron Man's head, rips the helmet off, and the helmet reforms right back on there. But as that fight goes on,
it was damaged.
Yeah, it's starting to damage, and it's starting to not come back. And I think at one point it even pulled, I think he pulled some nanites from his leg.
Oh, scooped him up too.
Yeah, scooped him up, and he was doing something with his repulsors or something.
That's a game changer.
Yeah, this is like
they need another Iron Man movie to go through with more of that shit.
Right.
Give us more
but we're not gonna get that before Avengers 4.
One more tech thing I can think of. The ships were awesome. There was tons of different
cool ships.
Guardians of the Galaxy had some really good models and stuff, but and you get to see some of those same exact ships. The small Rocket Raccoon uses one to bump into a bunch of the other ones in Guardians 1. You see that ship. Nebula's driving another one of the ships from Guardians. Bunch of them came back, and we get to see a lot of new ones.
Some of the Wakandan ships.
Thanos' ship, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, what is up with those?
Was that a ship with the water and stuff that was in it that they were standing at, or was that a planet?
I think that was Planet.
With the throne and stuff.
Yeah, that
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Well, no, maybe that was.
I was thinking they were in a ship, and
because they hadn't gone to Titan.
these
yet.
ships are new level, man. You
And
gotta check them out.
well, let's point out what one of these ships
Yeah,
are.
it was an ecosystem inside of this
everyone thought that the big circular thing that shows up in New York in the trailers was some sort of portal.
Nope.
Nope. That is a fucking spaceship.
It's a pretty unimportant kind of thing, but obviously it's there. Like, they have a fight on it, everybody's scared of it, but it's not they don't use it for something.
Right.
It's to travel. It's like their car.
Let's go ahead and talk about some of the. You
can see like Tony drive one of these things. Tony and
oh
Spider-Man.
my God, yes, because they're driving it to Titan. They're taking it to Titan. Yeah.
Well, they have no choice.
Thanos.
I'm pretty sure at this point they're all on it, and they're like, "Well, now what do we do?"
Well, no,
and
they talked about turning back around,
take the fight to
Thanos. But then they have the big back and forth.
So when they have to, they end up crashing it.
Yeah,
but it's
they're trying to land it. Yeah, they
I think they all handled
shit out of it.
They all handled this extraterrestrial stuff really well, actually.
Well, you also gotta think
they've had their exposure to it, but like this movie, even as a viewer, was like overwhelming. Like, obviously, I've kind of been there. I've been there with them through their travels.
Well, you also
and it's
gotta
not
think,
overwhelming in a bad way. It's there's just a lot.
You also got to think Hulk / Bruce Banner has been on a different planet, surrounded by aliens.
I want to talk about him
too. Thor already came built with all this knowledge because he's existed out there and he's known about all the other realms. They've already fought the Chitauri hordes and sentient robots and stuff.
Yeah.
So they all have their own experiences. I think one of the only ones that might be outside of the fray might be Stephen Strange, but given the fact that he oversees the Sanctum Sanctorum, he has all that like history and literature, and he can hop through dimensions and time and shit. I'm pretty sure he's got a grasp of this. So
But what about Falcon? And he sees fucking
maybe you got a point there.
Monsters and
because I think the strangest thing he's dealt with is maybe Giant Man.
Right. I'm just saying, like, they all handled it very well.
Yeah.
They all handled it very well.
Before we get into what I was going to bring up, let's actually talk about characters that were not in the film that people thought might have been in the film.
I wanted to talk about Bruce first, though, man. Bruce Banner.
Bruce Banner? Okay,
Bruce Banner had a bigger part in this. Well, I mean, he always has his big Hulk part.
Well, he had a bit,
but he was not Hulk except the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
That's weird. He
was Hulk fighting Thanos, gets the shit beat out of him.
And maybe that's why he doesn't come back out.
Yeah.
Thanos scared Hulk from coming out at all.
Yeah, I called that during the movie. After the first time he said no, because Bruce is trying to get him to come out, and he's starting to turn green,
hilarious.
And then it regresses. Yeah.
Come on, Hulk, get out here.
He's like, Bruce, you're embarrassing me in front of the wizards. That was Tony Stark.
Bruce is great.
But yeah, like the Hulk comes out twice, just in face only, and just screams no.
One of the times was inside the Hulkbuster. So imagine
which we already knew Bruce Banner was inside of it.
Imagine all that like computer stuff around his face while he's normal, and then hulking out for a second, and then regresses.
Yeah, but the Hulk refuses to come out because the Hulk is fucking scared of Thanos.
Thanos made him beat his pants.
Yeah, so that was a pretty interesting thing. So yeah, you get a lot of Bruce Banner.
Bruce Banner was hilarious. He was also one of the first people to try to start getting people together. He's like, Thanos is coming. He's telling these guys, and then they go off somewhere because there's a lot going on.
He really is a linchpin.
So he calls Captain America. He gets him involved. This and that. So
where does it was at the Avengers facility where everyone's starting to meet up and they're discussing things, but they're like,
and Natasha finally sees him for the first time.
Who are you? What do we do? Like, why is this? Blah blah blah. And then Bruce is the one who comes out and he's like, hey guys, you all know me. This is how it is. So that actually can lead us. We'll talk about the characters that were not in the film, but that's a good segue into the romances of this film. We get to see Vision, Scarlet Witch, which was really cool. We get to see them. They're finally falling in love and all that stuff.
Yes, actually, them having their big attention for their relationship.
There was a little portion, just for them.
Actually, as everyone had suspected, Hulk and Natasha did not have a big thing at all. They didn't.
Well, okay, we'll get there. I want to talk about Vision and Scarlet Witch first, but
just in comparison, the relationship you expected, you didn't get. The one you got, you needed.
Yeah,
it's great.
And it really does. It's not like they're just like, oh, here they are. They're in love, let's get over that. No, it plays out throughout the film because she's charged with protecting him while Shuri is trying to remove the Soul Stone, because the big plan that the Avengers have here, their best play, is to go to Wakanda and destroy the Mind Gem, because, as we saw in Captain America Civil War, Wanda has the ability to manipulate it. They play off of that because the big thing is Vision wants Scarlet Witch to end him if it comes down to that, and she obviously does not want to. So that we got a lot from that relationship, and it makes me want a Scarlet Witch Vision movie, because there is a comic book series. Yeah. There are several actually focused around just those two. I could really see that movie working out.
When you first see Paul Bettany in this movie, he has no makeup. It almost, since this is the only moment you see him with regular skin, even though it's just projected, it's a trick of the mind. Yeah. It almost feels like they went out of their way to put skin on him, and then they're like, "All right, you can take it off, and the rest of the movie you're free, buddy."
Yeah, well, you'd think, even
but you only get him for that one moment
because of how much CG costs or whatever, that maybe they would have put him in that skin, given him his regular skin for most of the movie.
You don't get to see him use it. Yeah. He's already normal when you see him. They don't introduce you to it.
Yeah,
but
it just happened. It's just there. He's been living like that
stabbed,
for a while.
And this is not a killing moment or anything. He gets stabbed,
and right through the back,
and instantly he can't do it anymore.
Yeah,
and so that's the part that from that point
it fades immediately because it's out of nowhere, and it's a pretty fucking devastating strike.
That's one of those things you figured they would use a lot more for visuals. Now, you think they would be making him turn himself in, normal for her a lot.
But no. Now let's go ahead and let's talk about Black Widow and Bruce Banner. We left Avengers Age of Ultron with an unresolved budding romance because they never really got to get started. Shit was going down in the middle of that trying to be a thing.
Always. No, three or four different times, literally, they'll, I can't remember, that maybe they go to kiss or something. Bam, someone says something, busts in the room or whatever.
Something's going down.
And they're never... It's like they're never meant to be.
And we don't really get any resolve to that in this either, because
that's the
we
one I
only get that one moment where they see each other for the first time.
Yeah, they finally see Bruce is in town.
And the Falcon says, "This is awkward," and then it goes to the next scene. I think maybe that was the only weirdly paced thing, now that I think about it, was it goes from that thing where we're all expecting something from it, and then it just moves on to the next moment.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Awkward.
I really hope we get a little more out of that in Avengers 4.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Some sort of conversation when everything's died down. But because we'll spoil some of the deaths right now, that one is not a thing. Those two are still standing. So we still got both of them.
Yeah. Well, deaths in this movie don't mean anything, hardly.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah.
But is there anything else we want to talk about before the deaths?
The death reel.
We've talked about the Infinity Stones.
Let's get to the
romances.
Yeah, what is it? George R.R. Martin directed the last half of the movie.
Let's get to our fallen heroes segment. Guys, every now and then... No, this is that SMP episode.
George R.R. likes to kill people.
Yeah. Is there anything else we want to touch on, though?
I'm sure there is, and I'll think of it in 5 hours. So just keep it going.
Yeah, that's what we get for doing these fresh right out of the box and stuff. But I'm trying to find some of the bad stuff too, like that awkward pacing moment I just pointed out.
Oh, if you want to talk about one of the bad things,
let's talk about some bad stuff if it doesn't involve the deaths, more or less.
Oh, here's one thing: Groot does not get used as much as you would hope. In fact, the Guardians actually had a bigger part than you would expect. So I guess we got more Groot than we wanted.
Well, yeah, we
basically got a third Guardians movie.
I think we got the appropriate amount of Groot because he's begrudging. He doesn't give a shit.
Oh, no, he has a lot. See, it's all
he's
coming to
there
me.
for a lot of it. He's just not doing anything. And then when he finally does do something, it's because he sees the pain inflicted on Thor, because they're putting together. What was the name of the hammer? Oh my god, I know this is a big Thor thing too, and I don't read.
I knew it was gonna be an axe, though.
The Stormbreaker.
Yeah,
the Stormbreaker. They're forging the Stormbreaker axe, which is Thor's replacement for Mjolnir. And they need to get a handle fast, and they're rushing to try, like, because Thor is down. Thor is fucked up.
The metal's about to cool. Yeah. It's like starting to turn silver.
Oh, that was the other appearance that we missed.
Peter Dinklage.
The Dink. We got to visit the Super Dink Arena.
Dink is bigger than life in this one, man.
Yes. Well, he plays one of the dwarves that worked at the forge.
This is a dwarf in outer space.
Yes.
So it's a different race, which actually turns out to be way bigger than a human.
Gigantic. The proportions, the physical proportions of a dwarf, if you were to blow them up to, like, 10 times the size or something. Yeah, so Peter Dinklage is the dwarf that Thanos left alive, because it turns out this is where Thanos got his gauntlet made.
I would like to see more about that, too, when, like, there was more, like, dwarves working this place.
See more dwarves and, like, Thanos, like, coming in and trashing the place and shit.
No, like, I mean, obviously they made a...
Oh, you want to just see a dwarf movie?
No, I mean, they made all the important weapons for all the Asgardians, or else they wouldn't have Jack. And the Asgardians were supposed to protect them. And
who forged Mjolnir.
Yeah, they would... I don't want to see a movie. God, no. I just said I want to see more of that. I want to see pre-Titan destruction on that area.
That would require another Thor movie. I don't know.
Or Time Stone.
Or Time Stone. Let's reset it all, because we're the DCEU.
Hey, man.
No, but... Yeah, that was pretty cool. We did miss talking about that.
That area was a good scene.
And Peter Dinklage was great, of course. I don't remember the character's name, but he played a big part in the film, because that hammer is really, or hammer axe, whatever, is what really levels the playing field.
And part of it is I don't think you got to that part at the end. Groot helps them pull those pieces of metal together. He sacrifices his own arm. He chops off his own arm and uses it as the handle.
Which, of course, regrows anyways.
Yeah. So now, Stormbreaker, this legendary weapon that Thor wields, is part of Groot.
Yeah.
Or Groot is a part of this weapon.
Super powerful character in his own.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's a good piece of wood.
Yeah, that's
you got some good wood.
That's a piece of wood you want.
But also, Thor has another addition to his...
Oh,
body?
Yeah. Thor gets his eye back.
Yes, he still has the eye patch, and Rocket Raccoon's like, oh, here you go. And he pulls out a glass eye, gives it to him. It's all wonky when he puts it in. He's slapping it.
Did he steal that eye in Volume 2?
That's what I was trying to tell you.
I remember a gag about an eye.
Oh, in the first movie, he's stealing the leg, and he makes a joke about stealing the eye. Yeah. In the second movie, they steal the eye. They don't steal it. Groot accidentally brings it to him.
Oh, that's right. He keeps it,
Yeah, so that, I'm pretty sure, is where the eyeball came from. And, well...
I just remember where Rocket is trying to make deals with the Winter Soldier. And he's like, what do you want for that gun? And he's like, nah, I'm not getting rid of the gun. And he's like, what about that arm? And
he shakes his head and walks away.
He just gets brushed off. He's like, I'm going to get that arm.
I'm getting that arm. But, so, Thor's new eyeball came from Rocket Raccoon's butt, and his weapon came from Groot's body.
Yeah.
So, we got kind of a weird... This movie got weirder than a lot of the other movies, I feel. Like, there was aspects. This is not a death. Drax gets cut up into a bunch of floppy cubes, and he's still alive. And Mantis gets... unraveled. She's like some like unraveled kind of
like a ribbon
loop. Yeah, and they're both still alive, but it's morbid. Their eyes are blinking like
it's weird.
Grossest thing ever. When Thanos finally leaves them alone, they come back together. Yeah. But like, wow.
Oh yeah, that was earlier when we were talking about Thor, because the reason Thor gets fucked up is because he has to hold the gate open so that the light from the dying star can shine through and heat up the forge metals. Mm-hmm. And so he's sitting there taking this blast
Oh,
from the heart of a dying star, which is like nothing to fuck with. And he gets fucked up, man. He gets burnt up, and he's charred and bloody and shit. And, So, and then there are times when, like, Iron Man's getting the shit kicked out of him, and he's only got a little blood. Yeah, it's kind of weird. We also got to see the Hulk bleed in that first part. The Hulk gets fucked up in that first fight.
When Thanos and Hulk are going at it, it's a great looking fight. You gotta check that out.
Let's talk about, before we get to the deaths, let's talk about Thanos a little bit in spoiler wise, because now we're in spoilers. We can really go into detail how bad this motherfucker is.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, he's tough as shit. There's that moment from the trailer where people are like, "How is Captain America like holding his arm and shit?"
That was more interesting in the movie.
We get to see that Thanos, just as a being, is very powerful, which he is in the comics. But unlike the comics, he kicked the shit out of anyone without the Infinity Gauntlet. No, he suffers some damage. People sneak up on him, they get hits in. We get to see him bleed a little bit.
His manipulation of the stones, though, is perfect. At one point, he switches gears between power, mind, or whatever. And he does it all real quick to do this to someone, do this, something completely different to someone else.
Utilization of those stones is
always
so
different,
expert.
too.
Always
different.
You get the sense that, yes, he's been thinking about this for so long. He knows exactly how he would use them, what he would use them for, when he would use them, how to counter with them. It feels like you're getting to see a clinic in the special martial arts nobody's ever seen before.
He could give you a freaking list of everything each stone does.
He's the master.
Except there's a few things that the stones do that he doesn't understand. Remember? I know there's another one that I'm thinking of, but the most important one is when he snaps his fingers. He doesn't know. He doesn't really know what's going on. And when he comes back to, he snaps his fingers.
Oh, are we talking about the very, very end?
It's very close, yeah.
Yeah, let's wait on that one real quick.
All I was trying to say was, some of this, he doesn't know everything about the stones.
And further to the point of the Captain America thing, where he's holding the hand, you see Thanos is like, holy shit, this guy's got some
out of
grit
all
to
of
him.
Them too.
But he's only got one hand in play right at that moment. Yeah, Cap is holding off just barely as hot with everything he's got to push this hand back, and you can see Thanos is more inquisitive than he is struggling. He's struggling a little bit. He's trying to push through. But
Captain held it, I'm pretty sure, better than Iron Man would have.
Yeah.
Anybody that came up to him, Captain America's the first one to finally grab his hand like this, and he's just a guy.
And so after Thanos basically gets bored of that, he just takes that hand, pushes it to the side, causing Captain America to turn, and then he just knocks the shit out of him with the other hand. Yeah, so he's not a pushover. It's not one of those, there's no way Captain America, because, no, there is no way, because Thanos fucks him up. I think he puts him down with that punch, too.
Yeah.
That one punch.
Yeah, there's a few people. It's hard to keep track of who's where, who knows who, but I'm... personally, they tell you in the movie, but everything was so fast. This is my first time seeing it. I loved it,
And that's why we do these when we're fresh, though. So we don't really forget some of these heavier things. But then there's moments where he's fighting Iron Man, and you can tell he's toying with him a little bit, because if he can put Cap down with that punch, then he can fuck up Iron Man. And that's...
Wait, I actually, about that part, I wanted to hear more of that, because Thanos says he's like... he calls him Stark, and he's like, you know who I am?
Yeah.
He knows more about these guys.
You're not the only one burdened with knowledge, is what he says to Tony.
That just made me think of something else, because ever since Avengers, Tony Stark's saying in this movie, ever since Avengers, Thanos has been in my mind for 6 years or something.
Well, no, so maybe it was Avengers 2.
Oh,
yeah, that it happened, but
maybe it's a two-way street.
Maybe
Thanos has been getting, glimpse of I don't know Tony Stark's life.
But how? This movie definitely does not explain that.
That could help him have the upper hand, and knowing these people, having the upper hand on all of their he has a plan, and
maybe that'll be an element in Avengers 4. Maybe they'll find a way to reverse that.
I hope
Tony
that's
can figure out what he's up to.
Because as soon as he said that, I was like, holy smokes! He knows something that probably isn't going to come up, and it's going to be a while.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay, so we went through all that stuff. Well, and just a little more on Thanos, just because we got to get on with this. But yeah, through these interactions, I just kind of went Daffy Duck there for a moment. Through these actions, I'm gonna leave that in. I don't care. Anyways, through his interactions and the way he talks to people like Gamora, the way he talks to Tony Stark,
Nebula.
Yeah, you get how bad this dude is, because that Nebula part where he's torturing Nebula,
his own daughter, piece by piece,
all her parts, like he's got her suspended.
She's together.
I can't even explain it.
Her pieces are spread out,
and so he's sitting there talking to Gamora and telling her that he knows that she lied and that he knows that she knows where the Soul Stone is. And so he goes on to torture Nebula by using the Infinity Gem to further separate her.
Yeah.
And man, wow, her screams. This whole scene is uncomfortable.
Karen Gillan.
Yes, Karen
She
Gillan.
was awesome in Doctor Who, Jumanji.
Yep,
recently.
Yep.
She's awesome as Nebula.
Well, she's killed it as Nebula, yeah.
Yeah.
We can explain a little further now. His reason that he wants to kill half the universe is not like in the Infinity Gauntlet. In the Infinity Gauntlet, he is doing it to try and impress Death, Lady Death, who he's in love with. But in this film, he's actually doing this because his home world of Titan ended up falling into collapse due to overpopulation and hunger.
Predicted.
Yeah,
and no one would listen.
He tried to get them to employ this and do it at random. He said it wouldn't be a class thing. He wanted them to euthanize people to cut down on numbers, and it would be chosen at random. They didn't listen to him. They called him a madman, and his race ended up dying. And so this whole thing is motivated by saving the universe from itself, by saving other races from going extinct. So his way of doing that is killing half of them, because there are so many planets that are going through the same thing. He reveals that Gamora's world was the same, and he tells her, he's like,
yeah,
have you ever checked in, like,
since he's abducted her, they are thriving.
Yeah, they are thriving. Since he killed half her race, they are now a happier, prosperous people. And it's like, holy shit, you see perfectly his reasoning. You
gotta think of, I don't remember how it plays in the comic book, but the movie version of Watchmen, Adrian kills a lot of the Earth for peace on Earth. And nobody wants him to have to do it. He doesn't want to have to do it, but it's the only way to cause peace.
And once it's done, you're sitting there, and we're Dr. Manhattan in this thing, where we're saying, without condoning or condemning, we understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
In fact, sometimes Mercy is actually killing someone.
Yeah. There's that one point in the moment with Red Skull where you really see the depth of his character.
It kind of like shook him. Like he's like, I wasn't expecting a trial, but I'm ready.
Yeah,
you know?
But he wasn't exactly ready for what the trial was, and I think that's a good segue into character deaths.
Yes.
Because it turns out that Thanos has loved Gamora as a daughter this whole time, and when he gets to this trial for the Soul Stone,
the Red Skull can't get the stone because he has no loved one to sacrifice.
Yes, because it is a soul for the soul.
And that's how he's being tortured. He's leading people, and he tells all this to Thanos.
Yeah. And you have to assume maybe other people have been turned away. Maybe other people have gone like...
died trying, maybe.
Yeah, maybe died trying, or maybe they brought someone and they were like, no, it's not worth sacrificing them. He's brought Gamora. Gamora's the one who's led him to this place. And when he finds out, she's like...
You don't love anything.
Yeah.
This
she's
is
like,
joke.
Finally, I've been waiting for you to feel this like crushing anguish of failure all these years, and you don't love anything, so there's nothing you can do here. You can't get the stone.
And we're like, you know,
never go up against a Sicilian when death is on the line.
Right? But we kind of agree with her,
Yeah. And then he turns around to reveal that he's actually in tears, and
which still kind of is like, oh, come on, you're fucking milking. She goes, no, now.
Yeah.
She goes, now
like,
you're
gonna cry after all this time. Yeah, sure, go ahead and cry because you failed. And then it slowly starts dawning on her what's happening, and
that he really does.
And then it goes slow motion. He grabs her arm, and he throws her off the edge of this cliff. she falls.
You see, you get a lot of visual of her falling, and then she's on the ground.
They put you in that moment, and then she is dead. And holy shit,
as soon as that happened, it took. Well, I guess it took me a moment to be like, oh shit, Peter doesn't know yet.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
And
what is he going to do?
It's not the first death of the film, but it is the first impactful death.
Yeah.
It is the first one that really gets you, and you're like, shit. Holy fuck, and you can tell he is not happy about it, and that's where you get the depth of that character, that he's already lost so much. He's lost, and we haven't found that out by this point, but now that we know he has lost his whole world, and now he has to throw this away too, and I believe at this point he knows that the Black Order is dead too, because the entire Black Order dies. We're in the deaths now, so
he's not like your typical bad guy. Someone's not running up to him and being like, sir, they've just died. They've taken down 2 of your children.
He's off doing his own thing.
Yeah, he never seems fazed by any of it because he's continuing with his plan.
Yeah. That Gamora death was the first impactful one. Loki dies, which was actually a highly suspected one. A lot of people had that one called. Loki dies very early in the film, handing over the Tesseract. Heimdall dies.
That same scene,
killed.
He saves Hulk after Hulk gets beat up by Thanos.
Yeah.
He transports Hulk back to Earth.
Yeah.
And that's why you see him fall into the sanctum.
Yeah.
Immediately after that, Thanos shoves a sword or something in his chest. I don't know.
Yeah, but so that's 3 right there. We got 3 right there.
It's hard to think of the natural.
Because I don't want to get to the end of the movie deaths. Yeah, I want to get to the ones that play out throughout the film.
I was gonna say Vision was one that was.
Yes. Oh, that's right.
Last minute, they're trying to get the Mind Stone out of his head so they can destroy it.
We talked about how Shuri and Scarlet Witch. Well, Scarlet Witch abandons her charge to go help them because these big ass bladed saw things have come out of the ground and are killing people and fucking people up and stuff. She goes down there and she fucks those things up, and so that causes Vision to get into a fight with one of the other Black Order. They end up killing all the rest of the Black Order. So Vision's there with the Avengers facing down Thanos, and Thanos is running through Falcon and he's running through War Machine.
You don't have to tell him the whole movie.
Yeah. Sorry. So they get to that moment where, yes, it's time for Scarlet Witch to destroy the Mind Stone, even though it's still in Vision's head. And she almost gets it, but Thanos is too much. And Thanos grabs Vision by the head and rips the Mind Stone. Yeah.
No, this is how it happened. She destroys the Mind Stone, and he gets pissed.
Yeah.
Wait, no, he doesn't even get pissed. He's like, and then knocks her out of the way. He uses the Time Stone and brings him back from an explosion. He explodes after she destroys the Mind Stone. But he comes back together, and he's like, what? And he instantly just takes it out of his head.
That's when he grabs him by the head. And pulls out an entire chunk of his skull.
He doesn't just use his fingers to take the stone. He just grabs it as a chunk of his head.
Yeah, and
you see the wires and stuff, which is something I didn't really expect. I didn't really know what he'd be made of.
It looked both mechanical and bio.
Yeah,
it
weird.
was really gnarly mixture, and it looked gross. It was
that's one of those things moments. Yeah, one of the gross things.
Yeah,
they went weird with this in a good way.
But after he gets all the stones, that's when Thor comes in, and
that's when he flicks his fingers. And
he's like, "You should have aimed for my head," and that's when he just turns the gauntlet, activates the gauntlet.
He did.
Does he?
Yeah, that's why he says it earlier in the movie. I can flick my fingers, and then he didn't.
Yeah, and then he's gone. He bails.
Or snaps his fingers.
He snaps his fingers, has the dream sequence.
Comes back, and they're like, what'd you just do?
Yeah.
And his gauntlet is all burned up. The gems look all messed up. And he doesn't know. He looks at it, too. And immediately, he's like, goes into his portal. He leaves. He leaves.
Yeah, he bails, and then
it freaked him out.
There's a moment of reprieve.
What happened?
And silence. What happened?
What'd he do? And everybody's looking at each other. It shows everybody in their own settings.
This is the hard part of the film, because that's when Who's the first one? Okay, well, you know what? Let's just start going down the list. Let's save the one that brought us to tears for last, though.
Okay.
Okay, so we've got
Black Panther.
Black Panther. Oh my god!
Disappeared.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Did we say it? They start turning into ash and disappearing, and no one cries, no one screams. They're like, what? What
the fuck is happening?
And they know they know they're no more.
Yeah, it's also...
The first one is Bucky.
Fuck yes, it was Bucky.
You're sitting there looking at Captain America and Thor being like, wait, what happened? And then all you hear is, Steve? And then the camera pans over and he's like does a limp and then starts to fade away. It's like, I know
War
more.
Machine.
Oh, yeah.
War Machine. Falcon.
Falcon,
we lose Falcon. Black Widow? Did we lose Black Widow?
I want to say yes. We lost a lot more people
There's
than we expected.
so many. Yeah, it's really hard. We don't lose Steve Rogers.
No,
we don't lose Steve Rogers. I don't think we lose Thor. Groot.
Yeah, we lose Groot.
Was a hard
we do
one.
not lose Rocket.
Rocket is the only one because we also lose Star-Lord, Mantis, and Drax.
Yeah, first it's like Mantis maybe, and then Drax goes, and then you're like, okay, we got Star-Lord.
Yeah.
Goes away.
Stephen Strange. That was a hard one. Doctor
Strange. People who
leaves.
haven't had much time, who are stronger than people who've been here the whole time.
Yep.
Gone.
Scarlet Witch. Another one.
Gone.
Scarlet
Probably
Witch is gone.
her.
Vision is dead.
Yeah,
he doesn't disappear.
He died on such a happy note. I kind of teared up. Like, he died because his loved one helped him die. I don't know.
Yeah,
she helped him. She did what they had to do, and you're like, wow. And then he's like, no, scratch that. Bring him back. I'm making this gruesome.
Yeah. We lost a lot of people in that moment. We're not going to go through all of them. We can barely remember all of them because just a ton. We're left with bare bones at the end of this. But the one that really fucked us up, I started tearing up after that moment was finally over.
We both cried,
thankfully over. I had to take my glasses off, wipe the tears away and shit. Was Spider-Man.
Yeah, Peter Parker.
Spider-Man was a tough one because not only does he disappear.
Okay,
others,
first, they're the group that is on Titan is like
we got Iron Man, Doctor Strange,
Star-Lord,
Drax,
Mantis,
and Spider-Man.
Yeah, and so they're like most of them are all gone. It's down to Tony and Spider-Man, and he's like, Mr. Stark, I'm not feeling too good, and he keeps calling him like Mister.
And he starts
Stark.
grabbing at his gut, and then he reaches out for Tony. And
they're hugging each other. Yeah, they're hugging each other so tight.
The whole time, even before they're hugging, Tony's like, "It's okay. You're okay. You're okay. It's okay. Nothing's gonna happen." And
he wanted nothing to happen so bad. He's responsible for this guy.
Yeah, it feels so desperate because
he brought this boy into this whole thing.
And
he went to his house.
Spider-Man is crying and he's just begging for his life. He's like, "I don't want to go. Don't let it happen to me." And Tony's so desperate he can't do anything.
Except hold him as tight as he can.
Yeah, and they get down to the ground and there's that moment where Spider-Man says, "I'm sorry." And he's apologizing.
Yeah.
And it's
like he failed or something.
And then
poor guy.
He fades out. It's just
the most intense.
Shit. It's hard to talk about it.
Yeah.
It really is. I'm not crying right now, but I'm starting to well up a little bit.
Yeah. Let's move on.
Oh man. By the end of that, Tony's the only one left on Titan.
And that was the
my god!
That was the clip that you see in the trailer.
Oh my god! Tony is on Titan, and the very end of the film, right before it goes to credits, guess where Thanos is?
Wait, no, we don't know that because where Thanos is a grassy place. It's a nice
but he
place.
could have remade his world. He's got the fucking Infinity Gauntlet now, man. It's all complete. He can do anything.
I feel like he went somewhere that he goes. He goes there to be alone.
Yeah, they said that was Titan.
That tiny hut.
That's his home.
Tiny hut that's
hidden.
I'm also he's like a hobbit.
I'm playing a little bit off of my knowledge from Infinity Gauntlet.
Look, you are right about Tony still being there, but I don't know if that's immediately where Thanos went.
Because at the end of the Infinity Gauntlet, after Thanos loses, that's where he goes to be. He retires. He goes and he's a farmer.
We're not at the end of the Infinity Gauntlet.
No, but I mean, it's not like it played out exactly like the book, and you'd know that
exactly. So maybe he's not on Titan.
So I think he went back to Titan, but
I think he went somewhere that he goes that nobody knows of because it didn't have a name on it either.
Maybe, but then again, everyone who knew about Titan is also dead, aside from Tony Stark, who's on Titan and cannot communicate to anyone.
But yeah, they've showed tons of shots of Titans just as barren, gross.
Yeah, but they
planet.
also showed it once when it wasn't, and it was a very green and prosperous place.
I don't think he. Maybe
agree to disagree on that one, but still, if they are on the same planet and at the beginning of Avengers 4,
yeah, wow. so like he like revives the planet maybe and like begins recovery. You know, he's sitting there, and he watches the sun rise like he said he would.
Yeah,
and he said once he's done with all this, he's going to watch the sun rise. You know, knowing he's done what he's done. But yeah, so he's there in his like hut watching the sunrise, and like Tony Stark's like still on the planet, like maybe like 100 miles away. You know, he's far away, and you're like, what? That's gonna be interesting.
And it's so weird. We end this movie with our heroes.
The last time you see Tony though, is right after Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's the last time.
And that's the shot everybody thought was gonna be like he let the Avengers down, but no, Tony literally did every. I don't think Tony made a flaw.
I think he made all the right decisions.
Yeah, Tony didn't have a flaw with his decisions this time.
Even Spider-Man being there was not his fault.
That scene with him being sad with the bright light behind him wasn't a theme of him.
Where he's holding his bloody hand over his face. And
that was him mourning Spider-Man mainly.
Yeah.
And the catastrophe that is taking place.
How everything went wrong. But we end with all of our heroes.
He has a moment to sit down finally.
In disarray and a happy ending for our villain. More or less. I mean, we know this isn't the ending, but that's how this film ends. But then we get to the after credits scene. Yes. So I feel like this is. Is there anything else we want to talk about before we get to this? I feel like we've really fleshed this thing out.
Not that I can think of.
Nope. All right. Well, that brings us to our end credits scene, and it was so funny because we got a fake out because all right. First of all, we saw this in a packed theater, and that is always such a good time. From the guy who clapped. The one guy who clapped during the Marvel Studios.
Woo! Never mind.
And I leaned into Dr. T. Neal here, and I was like, had he gone just a couple more seconds, just a few more claps, I would have joined in.
And then somebody did one clap, and I was like, oh man, they're all regretting it. Everyone wishes they would have clapped at that one guy.
Everyone was now sitting there going, we should have clapped. But everyone's laughing at all the right parts, and
so many jokes in this movie.
The gasps at all the right parts, and then oh my god, like I'm focused on the screen, but out of the corner of my eye, I can see people like when this person dies, and when that person, and like people going to the edge of their seat. I went to the edge of my seat.
There was a lot of jump scares. Like, honestly, you see two people talking, and then you get, like, a sliver of a camera turn, and you see someone running real fast, and then, like, that person, you don't know they're there, and there's some jumpy things that get you.
But, yeah, we got to what we thought was going to be the mid-credit scene, because the screen goes black for a moment. They're done flashing the
before
things,
it really shows
and everyone's
credits.
Going, shh, shh, shh. The theater gets real quiet. And then the
credits start
scrolling up.
And I was like everybody starts talking again. I was like, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to hear this. Trying to hear the credits.
Trying to hear the credits, guys. But yeah, we get to our end credits scene at the very end, and it's Maria Hill and Sam Jackson and Nick Fury driving along, and they're talking about this red flag has popped up in Wakanda, and we need to call this person.
He's like, like in New York or something? She's like, no, these are 10 times worse, or something like that.
And then this car flies in out of nowhere, crashing into the cars parked to the side of the street right in front of them.
Stopping Nick Fury and them.
Check. There's nobody in this car. Then they see a fucking helicopter.
And see, I didn't understand that. I was like, wait, where'd this guy go? He would have saw him. Where is he?
I was thinking some nefarious thing was going on, like, what secret agent company is this?
I was like, Nick Fury did that in the other movie. He went into the manhole. But that's not the case.
No, because they look behind them, and there's this fucking helicopter falling out of the sky.
Starts crashing.
Yeah, and then...
That's because, and we think about it, it's like, that's because people started evaporating. They're gone.
Yeah.
That person that was in the car... disappeared, and that's why it just crashed.
Yeah. And then we see Sir. And then Maria Hill starts disappearing.
He turns around and sees her. Yeah.
Yeah. And he pulls something out of his pocket.
He starts pushing past people who are also disappearing. He's not he's like, oh crap, now's the time. Now is it. And he pulls something out of his pocket, which is a really, I like the way they designed it, somewhat Vault Tech-ish.
Yeah, it looks like old tech.
He pulls out this tiny old tech,
Yeah.
because it's an old character.
Yeah.
He pulls out that tiny old tech, and I'll tell you. I'll let you tell.
Yeah. And then he notices that he's starting to
He
dissolve
starts fading
himself.
too, yeah.
And he goes, mother... But he disappears before he can do it. The little tech hits the ground, and it's going sending, pause.
And it's almost like Tamagotchi style.
Little like 16-bit graphics type thing. And the Nova Corps or the Kree logo pops up. The Kree star, yes. And then the red and the blue fill in behind it, and it is Captain Marvel's classic colors.
So is that the Nova? You said that's not the Nova symbol?
No. Well, the Nova Corps has that.
And it's not part of it.
Yeah, but it's a Kree thing.
I knew it was gonna be Captain Marvel, but like I keep looking for opportunities for Nova to happen for some reason. Wait, she's connected to Nova Corps? Probably not.
So yes, we get Captain Marvel, not like the actual character, but we finally get that. Boom, there she is.
Yeah, he sent a beacon or some sort of signal. What are we gonna do without Nick Fury, man?
I feel like, and I feel like this gives us so many clues about Captain Marvel too, because I feel like by the end of that film, she's probably gonna be off-world, or she's gonna go off-world to go do something or something, and that's why that tech is so old. Because
how is she such a big deal that he hasn't pulled her out yet? Like, aliens are invading Earth. That was a good time to do it.
Well, that's why he was assembling the
Unless
Avengers.
he just now got it.
He didn't need her for that. It wasn't an all is lost situation.
Could have been.
Because in this situation, like you said, Maria Hill's telling him like, no, these spots are like 10 times worse than
they
New
put
York.
the spectrum of danger into
he's already gotten the news that much bigger shit than New York is going down. Then he sees planes falling out of the sky and people disappearing, his own people disappearing, and now he's like, holy shit, things are truly fucked. Now it's the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna get Captain Marvel and Avengers 4. That's a
I love it when they have it, like with DC, how Wonder Woman had been around for a long time. I love those scenes where like Bruce is finding out about her. I'm like, oh god, I'm finding out about her too. Yeah. Like, where's she been all this time?
And I love that the little transponder is like
and that's all
old tech, because Captain Marvel, the movie, is supposed to take place in the 90s.
And that's what it looks like. Oh, 90s, nice. That's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Be a good time for whatever tech is gonna come out of that.
Right.
Like, there's gonna be more, I'm sure.
I can't say that this is my favorite Marvel film. It is the coolest one. It has the most moments in it. It is great.
It's the best one.
It is great, but only because it has all that buildup. You've got other movies like Captain America Winter Soldier, which lives on its own laurels. Like, it doesn't need the movies before it. It doesn't need the movies after it. It's just a fucking awesome, great superhero movie right on its own. Mm-hmm. You have movies like Captain America Civil War, which has all of this lead in, but none that you really need. You don't really have to see the other movies. All of the build-up for the conflict in that film is in that film. They disagree on this thing because of their own actions, and they spell that out perfectly in the beginning of it. So it stands on its own, and it's a big ensemble piece like this is. So those live on their own as great superhero films without anything else that they have to play off of. Mm-hmm. This absolutely requires the other films, because if not, we're just thrust into the middle of this shit going like, who's that? Who's that? Well, why do they feel like that? What is this? You have to have the build-up.
I would have hated being that guy who hadn't seen the movies.
Saying that, this is probably the best superhero sequel of all time.
Yes, it can't be the first one.
This is my favorite superhero sequel of all time. This is the best one.
The biggest moment we have so far, I think.
Yeah, this is the biggest payoffs, the biggest like highs and lows. Just
like I remember when Avengers 1 came out and it was a big deal, but like this
everything.
I don't
in
think
this
I heard as much buzz about it, but when I saw it, I knew how important it was. I knew the impact,
and
when
that's
I watched
the important word is important. Everything in this film feels important.
Impactful.
Just from the character interactions to
it completely
the locations.
Changed.
Yeah, just everything.
Tony's gear's new. We got new people. We got less people. We got more locations. We got everything.
And what a penultimate finale for Phase 3. Because
I think it's a very It's a very quintessential superhero movie.
Yeah, can't wait for the finale of this phase. What the fuck is all of this going to mean for phase 4? I just read an article that I think they're making an Exiles movie. Is that what I read? But yeah, this like out of nowhere team, like full of people you've probably never heard of.
It's probably gonna be in that universe.
That's in development with Marvel Studios.
I feel like the next 10 years is gonna be like, okay, I know 2 of those guys, but like, who's the rest of the movies about?
we're gonna be seeing a lot of new faces. Anyways,
which is okay.
If you haven't seen the film, I don't know why you made it this far. If you have seen the film, go see it again. I really want to go see Super Troopers 2 on Tuesday, but now that I'm sitting here gestating on this,
that you could watch it a second time in theaters,
I fucking want to go see it again
because it's
really
not coming back to theaters. This is
What?
one of those
Yeah.
movies that it's gonna be like 30 years
Super
later.
Troopers
They'll be
2?
like, no,
Oh.
I was saying you can rewatch Infinity War and watch Super Troopers.
Yeah.
And this isn't one of those movies in 30 years they're going to be like, we're going to play the classic Infinity War, and nobody's going to get it.
They might do
watch it twice
they
in
might do a
theaters
marathon someday during some anniversary, but I doubt that they're going to just be like, we're showing Infinity War by itself.
Right.
They'll have to at least show 2 movies with it.
2 movies.
At least 2 movies with it.
You get 2 before this. If you haven't watched any of them, watch 2 before this.
Definitely. If you don't get to go see it again, look for it on Blu-ray. Give this movie your money. Please fucking give this movie your money.
Yeah.
I know.
I bet the action figures are going to be great too. Like a bunch of them that are already out.
Some of them are already great.
Yeah.
And I know capitalism, but what do they need the money? Fuck you. Give them the money so they can make more great films like this.
Yeah.
Anyways, we've been going on
for a 4-hour podcast.
Yeah. All right. So I think that's going to wrap up our Avengers Infinity War, guys. Thank you for joining us for this. Again, like Subject to Change Entertainment on Twitter and on Facebook. I'm just now getting used to it. I haven't put a script down for that. Like, follow, share, subscribe, whatever you do, just do it and help us build this thing that we're doing.
Help us get out there.
Yeah, because as we've already revealed, we are now sponsored by Tricon, and after that event, we're going to be pushing to do so much more content.
Yeah,
we got a little bit.
We may, we want to go do bigger things.
Yeah,
we got bigger ideas.
There are some things in pre-production. We're not going to say what they are, but there's stuff we're already talking about. We're already writing. We're already working on. There's already some promotional material made. So, there's some stuff that we want to do. We want to get it out there, but we need your help.
Yeah.
And what better way to get that than Patreon? I think we'll use this as a platform to say, yes, we are going to be making a Patreon, guys. I'm going to say this right now. One tier I can reveal, there is going to be a founders tier. And basically what this is, we don't know what we're going to quantity this at. It's going to be a one-time tier. You pay for that, and then your name is synonymous with this forever. However big it gets, you will be considered, in name, a founder.
That's a big tier, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a big tier. I
was going to say, like, $50, and we got to put their name and everything for the rest of our lives.
That's going to be a big tier. That is a, guys, help us get some new equipment, pay for the business license, stuff like that. Yeah, that is going to be our we need a launching pad tier. But there are going to be a lot of others. Simple Interesting Visions is going to have a tier.
I'll be pitching in.
Yeah, we're not going to be talking about specifically what that is, but it's going to be really cool. I'm really excited about it. Hell, I might subscribe to that tier because I keep saying I want these prints, and I can just go print them up whenever. But why not support us while I do it, right? So, all right, guys, look out for that. Look out for all our social media. It's all down in the description below. My name is Vincent Herman, Vin The Human.
Travis Herman, Dr. T. Neil.
And cue that infinitely awesome outro music.